everybody, thanks for joining me. Welcome back to lucky number 13. Today we are going to take a look at two different checks for understanding. So the first one we're going to look at is going to be in Google Classroom, and this is setting up rubrics. This is really awesome because it is already set up in Google Classroom, and it's going to make it really easy for you to set expectations for your students. The second one that we're going to take a look at is Poll Everywhere, and this one was recommended to me, or actually asked of me from a colleague, about how can they poll their students right there live in Google Meets to see what their responses are, how they're feeling, or how they're understanding what's going on without having to get the results later or having to go to a different app and things like that. So Poll Everywhere is going to be a really great resource for us. So we're going to start off with the rubric. So we're going to head over to our Google Classroom. And this is really helpful because the Google Classroom is really easy. It's already integrated in our Google Classroom. And then it sets it up for students and parents to see, so the expectations are clearly set. And then it also makes grading super easy. So you'll head into your Google Classroom. And then when you're in your Google Classroom, so remember this is your home page, you want to go into your classwork. So you can either create your own assignment or you can set it up for ones that are already there. So for example, the cool thing about it is once it's in there, the rubric will be already set up once you create it for you to use in order to grade, or also for your students and your parents to see so that they're able to see exactly what is set up. So I can click and see what the end results are. So the kids then can go in and see, all right, what do I need to do exactly to get all of those points? So you can create your different categories, you can create the different areas for what it needs to get the different types of points, and all the way down. And then when you're grading, so once they submit the work, then all you have to do is click on the box or the category as to what they got, and it'll tally it up for you and it grades it automatically, which is pretty nice. So it is nice and simple. So I'll quickly show you how to set it up. So let's find one that I haven't done. So here's an assignment that I haven't actually created a rubric for. So you click on the assignment, and let's go ahead and edit that. And then down here is where you're going to see where that rubric is. So we're going to add a rubric, create, and if you wanted to, once you've already created one that is, maybe you are always wanting to have the same rubric that is consistent for writing paragraphs, then you can always use an old rubric and it'll just redo it, so you don't have to reinvent the wheel. And then this is where you would add in all of your elements. So you're going to create your criterion wheel. So for this one, the first one might be participation. So then you add what it means to look like when you're participating in some sort of discussion or debate during a live meeting. And then here you're going to say how many points does it take to go into there. So I'm going to say 5. And then to get those 5 points, that would be exceptional. And then what it takes. So you have to do, let's say you have to comment 3 times. Now we want to make sure that we have our 3 different categories, so we're going to add. So then we're going to have a 3, and this is our good. And maybe this means that they have to give at least 2, and then add, and you have it in. And then you kind of can keep going and add the different categories you want. So maybe you have another one that is a good listener. Maybe they're only adding in the chat comment and they're not actually out loud. So whatever it is that you want, so you could add your next criterion and things like that. And then once you're completely finished, you're going to go ahead and you're going to save that whole entire rubric, and then it'll be right in there, like we said, for you to be able to go ahead and for students to check it, as well as parents, and then yourself. So that's a really nice way. And then when students go ahead and turn those things in, that rubric will be checked in there. And then if you notice, there's the rubric out of 25, and then you'll be able to grade accordingly as they submit it. And that is a very slick way of grading, as well as making sure that everyone completely understands what those expectations are. So our next one is Poll Everywhere. This is a really great extension. So Poll Everywhere is going to be a Google Chrome extension. This you can do live right there with your students and get real time feedback. There are many different types that you're able to use. So they have multiple choice, they have open answer, you can put a picture, they can click the picture. So maybe you're testing like geography, things like that. They create word clouds right there, true, false, ranking, competitions, icebreakers, they have it all. And then what happens is once it's created, it's going to create a slide like this. So what it's going to do is it's going to create a poll, and you can have it entered right into your Google Slides, and the students can either enter the website in, so they can do it from their phone, they can do it from their tablet, their device, whatever they want, or if they have the URL code clicker right here, they can just scan it and they're ready to go. So whichever is the most accessible for those students, that is the way they can go ahead and do that. And then the survey pops right up and they can click their answers in. And then it becomes live. And then what happens is the results are going to show up right live on your screen as you are going through, and you kind of get to decide if you want it to show right away, if you want to show it at the end. So you get to kind of control how you want that to see, in case you don't want to give away the answers and all of that kind of stuff. And so let's see what that looks like on our end. So the first thing you want to do is you need to add the extension. So to add the extension, you're going to go and add it here. So you're going to go to the Chrome Web Store, Poll Everywhere, and you're going to go ahead and add that extension. So then once it's added, what's going to happen is those are going to be added right at the top of your slides. So there's add-ins right here. So now if you notice, the Chrome extension is right here at the top. So then you're going to click this right here, and you'd be able to then have new, and you're going to click new activity. And then this is where you get to decide. So now notice there are tons of different types of polls that you get to choose from. So you have your multiple choice, word cloud, competition, true, false, all of these different things that you would be able to pick to see what kind of survey that you want to give your students. And so you get to pick what you think is the best option. So maybe you want to figure out if you want to do something very, very quick. So you're going to click edit. Let's see if we were paying attention. Poll Everywhere can be found where? So you put your answers in, and then what you do is you pick which one is the correct answer. So which one is the correct answer? All right, so you pick that. And then you're going to click Save. So once we are finished, we're only going to just do that one question. We're going to say Insert into Slides. So then you get to choose, do you want the default, do you want the results into the slide? Do you want instructors' results in the slide and then the correct answer? So you get to kind of decide how you want it to go. So we're going to try to do this one, the flow. So we're going to click this one and then save. And it's inserting it right in. All right, so let's take a look at how that looked. So here is our poll. You can see this is what it is. So the kids would then be able to go. They have the question right here. Poll Everywhere can be found where, and they have to pick. All right. And then as you guys would be putting your answers in, we would be able to see how they are going. So I would get to decide when I want to go forward. So as you guys would be putting your answers in, we would see the progress moving forward. And then we'd have the final result answer would be here. So I would not move forward until I would decide it was over, and it would put those different things in for us, because that was the decision that I decided to make, that I wanted to first see how people were answering, and then ultimately that was the correct answer, and I wanted to see how many people got it right at the end. So we would get to see that happening live. And then at the very end, so I did a poll in advance just to kind of see how the results were going. So we had one going through. This was just I did the other one where it was just showing as the results were going in. So as people were actually clicking the survey and completing it, it was letting me know that they were being finished. So let's take a look at how it would look on the other end. So once they finish a poll, you can go in and you can log in, and it'll let you know the results. So now you can see I have my two different responses in here. So this one, obviously no one's done anything yet because we just created, but now you can see that my other poll that was in there, 10 people have responded. So let's take a look and see what those results are. So you can click and you can see that we had 10 people that took that survey, and 8 of them are dog people and 2 of them are cat people. And you can have that result, and then you also get to see who actually answered those questions, when they answered them. And then the other cool thing is that it will also export that information into a spreadsheet for you as well, so that you can transport it to anything that you want. If you want to be able to sort that information, put it into your own Google spreadsheet, if you want to put it into your gradebook and things like that. And so you also have that option for you as well. And so that is a really nice situation for you as well. So I hope that this was helpful. Again, those 2 different things that you have for you is the Google Classroom rubric that grades it right there in your classroom, and then Poll Everywhere that allows you to see those results live right there for you. There's a bunch of different options in there, and I think that those are great ways to check for understanding and make sure that students are right there with you and participating. I hope that it was helpful. Thanks for joining me for lucky number 13, and I hope to see you next time. If this was helpful, make sure that you like, make sure you subscribe, and make sure you comment below. And feel free to share with your friends. Take care, be safe, and be well.